The scent of cheap perfume clung to her like a second skin. It wasn't her usual scent, the light floral one I'd bought her for our anniversary. This was heavier, musky, something a teenager trying to seem older would wear. It was 1 a.m., 3 hours past when her late shift at the pharmacy was supposed to end. She pecked me on the cheek, the lingering taste of mint and something else, something unfamiliar, making my stomach churn. "Sorry I'm late, honey," she mumbled, her eyes darting around the living room as if expecting an accusation to materialize from thin air. "We had a rush." I nodded, a tight knot forming in my throat. I'd driven past the pharmacy an hour ago. The lights were off, the parking lot empty. I knew. I'd known for weeks, the late nights becoming more frequent, the whispered phone calls in the other room, the new lingerie I'd never seen her wear. I'd even seen them together once, a fleeting glimpse in the rearview mirror of a car parked down the street from our house. Him, Kai, our neighbor, the one who always brought over extra beers at barbecues, the one whose wife was perpetually pregnant. "Long shift," I echoed, my voice flat. "Must be tiring." She forced a smile, the kind that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Exhausted. I'm going to bed." She started for the stairs, but I reached out, my hand gently grasping her wrist. She froze, her back to me, her breath hitching. "Mckenna," I whispered, my voice barely audible, "how was Kai?" The silence that followed was deafening. She turned slowly, her face ashen, her eyes wide with a terror that mirrored my own churning emotions. It was confirmation enough. The carefully constructed facade she'd built crumbled before me, leaving only raw, exposed guilt. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. Just a strangled gasp. I let go of her wrist, the knot in my throat tightening until it felt like it would choke me. I didn't yell, didn't scream. The quiet fury that simmered within me was far more potent. "Don't bother explaining," I said, my voice hollow. "I packed a bag for you. It's by the door." The following days were a blur of numb routine. Mckenna moved out, staying with her sister. I went to work, ate dinner alone, stared at the empty space beside me in bed. The pain was a constant companion, a dull ache that permeated every aspect of my existence. But amidst the pain, a cold, hard resolve began to form. I wouldn't let them get away with it. Not like this. My plans started subtly. I began leaving evidence of Mckenna's affair around the neighborhood. An anonymous note slipped under Kai's wife's door, detailing the times and places of their rendezvous. A blurred photo of them kissing, left on the windshield of Kai's car. Small, calculated acts designed to chip away at their carefully constructed lies. The climax came a week later, during the annual neighborhood block party. Kai and Mckenna were there, trying to maintain a semblance of normalcy. I waited until the party was in full swing, the music loud, the air thick with the smell of barbecue and cheap beer. Then, I stepped onto the makeshift stage, grabbed the microphone, and cleared my throat. "Can I have everyone's attention for a moment?" I asked, my voice amplified through the speakers. The chatter died down, replaced by a curious murmur. Kai and Mckenna stood frozen, their faces pale, their eyes locked on me. "I have a story to tell," I continued, my voice steady, a story about betrayal, lies, and two people who thought they could get away with it. I laid it all bare, the late nights, the lies, the affair. I spared no detail, painting a vivid picture of the deceit for everyone to see. The crowd gasped, whispered, pointed. Kai's wife, heavily pregnant, burst into tears, her sobs echoing through the stunned silence. Kai, his face contorted in rage, lunged towards me, but several neighbors held him back. The look on Mckenna's face was one I will never forget. It wasn't just shame or embarrassment. It was pure, unadulterated terror. Her world, the one she had so meticulously crafted with her lies, was crashing down around her. The aftermath was swift and brutal. Kai's wife left him, taking their children with her. He lost his job, ostracized by the community he'd betrayed. Mckenna, shunned by her friends and family, moved to another state, disappearing from my life completely. My revenge, while satisfying in a primal sense, didn't erase the pain. It didn't bring back the life I'd lost. But it did offer a strange kind of closure. I had exposed the truth, held them accountable, and in doing so, reclaimed a piece of myself that had been lost in the wreckage of their betrayal. The silence in my house was still deafening, but now, it was a silence I could live with. A silence that, in its own way, spoke of a new beginning. A chance to rebuild, to heal, to finally move on.